Hello there, Bob Stockberger, pastor of Life Point Giles, right in the heart of Harrisburg. I'm here to talk to you not as a pastor, but as a physician. I've had the joy of being a physician in the New River Valley for over 40 years, 38 years in Blacksburg and 3.5 years in Giles County at Korean Family Medicine Giles up on the hill. And I've gotten to know many of you through that time together. Today I want to talk about coronavirus and are you going to take the COVID-19 vaccine? There are a lot of questions out there, so I want you to think that you're a patient of mine and we're in a room there up on the hill at the Family Practice Center in Giles, and you're in the room, you're the patient, and I'm your doctor. And you ask me, well, Doc, is this vaccine safe? Well, the answer is yes. Most recent study I looked at, 2 million doses given in America. There were only 4,000 reported adverse events. That's a 1 in 500 chance of any kind of side effect. Serious side effects like anaphylaxis, there were only 20 cases. That's 1 in 100,000 risk of having the anaphylaxis where you're red and swollen like a bee sting or a reaction to peanuts, you get adrenaline and steroids and it goes away. 1 in 100,000, very safe. You would say, well, Doc, is it effective? And the answer is yes, 95% effective, the vaccine's out now. Flu vaccines, 40 to 60% effectiveness is what we typically see. 40% on a bad year, 60% on a good year, but there's still great protection at that level. These are 95% effective. Wow, what a blessing. Are there side effects? Of course. You get a shot, you're going to usually have a sore arm, you might feel a little achy. The second shot, the booster, more likely you will feel a little achy like a low-grade fever or flu-like symptoms and a sore arm. That's the typical side effects. So I think there's not a whole lot to worry about there. Some people worry, has it been rushed through? Has this vaccine been rushed through? Well, thankfully, and I think this is a gift of God, everybody worked together on the same team and got this going quickly. But the technology for this vaccine, the mRNA, I'm not going to get into all of that, but that technology has been around and we've used it for Ebola. We've used it for the SARS. So this technology has been developed over the past several years. So nothing has been rushed. It has been done in a very effective way. As a Christian, I believe that every life is important and a gift of God, even that of an unborn child in a mom's womb. There have been issues and questions among people of faith. Has this vaccine been using fetal tissue? And absolutely not. There is no fetal tissue in the development or the production or the mass producing of this vaccine. Now, with all rumors, there are some issues, and I'm very honest with my patients, and I'm going to be honest with you. Many vaccines are tested, are confirmed that they actually work by using a tissue called HEK293, HEK293, you can look it up. And this sample came from an abortion in the Netherlands in 1973, almost 50 years ago. These cells have been grown now for a half a century in a culture, and so these cells are thousands of generations from that first cell. And these cells are used by not just the COVID vaccine, but most other vaccines, just to confirm they work in a human cell. So this cell line was used to confirm that this works like other vaccines. And this cell line came from an abortion 50 years ago in the Netherlands. So I'm going to be honest about that. But that is just a teeny part of this whole picture. And most other vaccines use these same cells that are grown in a laboratory to make sure they work in humans. The final question that you should ask me, well, Doc, are you going to take this vaccine? Or better yet, Doc, are you going to give this vaccine to your wife? Well, my answer to that question is absolutely yes. I've already gotten the vaccine because I'm an old guy. I'm a geezer. I'm over 70. So is my wife. She doesn't want you to know that, though. Sorry, Kathy. But we both got our first vaccines a few weeks ago, and we're getting our second one in the next week or two. So both my wife and I have received this vaccine. So absolutely, I support it. I want to close with a short story. This is a friend, and it's a story of a 90-year-old mom. About a week ago, this mom, and this is a true story, this mom was in the hospital for COVID. She was in ICU on oxygen. Oxygen levels had dropped. But thanks be to God, she had gotten her first COVID vaccine. She lived in a retirement home. She got this vaccine in her retirement home about 2 or 3 weeks before she got ill. In the intensive care unit, you know it's touch and go. She did not require a respirator, did well on CPAP. And this week, just barely a week later, this dear 90-year-old mom and grandmom and great-grandmom is going home from the hospital. This family is celebrating her leaving the hospital, and this family is not preparing for a funeral, which is most likely the outcome had she gotten COVID-19 a couple of 3 months ago before the vaccine was out. What a blessing. And I truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, believe this is a miracle from God. I've been in medicine 41 years. I have never, ever, ever seen such progress made so quickly and such an efficient, effective vaccine come to be in such a short period of time. It truly, in my opinion, is a miracle. And yes, I think it is a miracle from the Lord. So I exhort you to get this vaccine for your own health. I exhort you to get this vaccine to help protect your family and loved ones, particularly older ones in your family. And I exhort you to get this vaccine so that everyone in Giles, as we all get this and we get over that 70% mark for herd immunity, this whole county and this whole community will be safe from this scourge of this COVID-19. So yes, I have taken it. Yes, I exhort you to take this vaccine. May God bless each and every one of you. And thank you.